Welcome back, guys. So today we are going to go ahead and make a homemade closed air inbox for my ME Performance intake. So lately, being here in Arizona, it's starting to heat up again, getting really high intake air temperatures, causes the car to knock, causes it to pull timing. So not the greatest of circumstances. So what we can do is there is some information on Ron Watson's or Mike Fat Body on their tuning website about how you can make your own homemade airbox. So we picked up some stuff. We're gonna go ahead and see what we can do, put it all together. We kind of go over all the parts you need and everything, and I'll link it in the description as well, so you guys can kind of check it out on your own. But pretty much what we're gonna be doing is right now, there is no box on our intake system, so we're gonna make a homemade one, put it on there, see the difference, see if it actually helps out with intake temperatures, and see if the car feels any different with the lower IATs. All right, guys, well, let's get started. All right, guys, so here we are starting off. Got the fam out here to help me. Got my Big Mac Daddy, my brother. Pam's hanging out over there. They brought the WRX today. So pretty much to start off is on there, we don't have any dimensions, so we're pretty much going to be figuring everything out as we go along. But some of the parts that you'll need the sheet, the nuts and bolts to be able to put everything together. And then you're supposed to be using automotive rubber, but I wasn't able to find that, so I'm just kind of using some rubber window seal. We'll see if that works. Pretty much all it is just to kind of help with vibration and make sure that this piece of sheet metal, when you actually cut it, isn't going to be cutting into your other wires and paints and things like that. So it should be fine. Got some tools and everything over here. Should be pretty straightforward. So as we go along, we'll kind of walk you through it, find out the dimensions and everything, and we'll let you guys know. All right, guys, so here we are with the update. Pretty much did a rough draft of the dimensions. We put that on here. So we've already kind of started, as you can see. We're gonna try to make this a one piece. If you're looking at the directions online that I'm gonna link, it is, the gentleman said that he did 3 pieces. We're gonna see if we can get away with 1. So as you can see, we have the parts already kind of outlined. What's happening is we're gonna go ahead and flatten this out. We had this bad boy over here, kind of flatten it down. We're going to take a hammer to it in a second here and make it really flat, and then we're going to go ahead and fold it to this line right there, that direction, and this part on here is the part that is going to be backing up to right here. So I have my wires back there, my MAF extension, so we can only go down so far. So what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and take this part, flip it that way. Over here, this is part of the intake, the part of like the factory cold air intake system. We're going to kind of try to retain that, as you guys can see in the description, with that link of how he does that. So pretty much, like I said, we're going to go ahead and start making the cuts. We're going to flatten this out, make it a little bit better. Then we're going to try to get everything mocked up. And again, we're going to try to do this in 1 piece. The guy online did it in 3, but we're gonna see what we can do, and we got backup on this side. We already kind of have some stuff mocked up in case something happens over here. But yeah, let's get to it. Okay guys, so something really important to kind of take into consideration is as we were bending and cutting everything, just the way that we had it, it was upside down. So while we were going, we got it slightly confused. So it's always a really good idea for one, to have something down to protect your paint, but two, also just do a test fit, because this is going to be fine. We're just going to kind of mess with it a little bit to make it work, but always make sure as you're going along, like test fit it, put it in there, because we were almost going to start cutting on the wrong side, even though we had marked this up. Like I said, it was just like backwards or whatever. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure that you do a test fit every now and then. Make sure it's all good to go, and don't make the mistake that we almost did.
Yeah, I'm a professional duct tape user, so.
God, that is beautiful. I know, it's a work of art. All right, guys, so this is pretty much the end product. Fitment is pretty close. I wouldn't say 100%. I give it like a 90%. Pretty much what we ended up doing is we didn't get it in the one piece that we wanted, because like what I was talking about earlier, when we accidentally did it kind of sort of backwards, just the way it cut, we ended up having to add another piece back here. But you guys can't really see it, but along right there, the edges are pretty sharp, so we put some duct tape just to kind of keep it going. The factory airbox has two little studs that stick out right here. We utilized that. We drilled into this, and we have like a little flange that kind of goes down. We drilled into that and utilized those over here on this side to be able to put that in there. we did drill 2 parts in the MA Performance heat shield. There's one right here, and a little bit harder to see. I'll try to angle it. One right there. I'll have to find a little bit more of a permanent solution because they are just kind of like screws and nuts, so they will eventually back out. So I'll have to find something else to make that a little bit more permanent. I was able to retain this. That's the whole point. That's why we wanted to do it this way. It is a little bit stressed out on these points, but it is fine. Something that was actually pretty darn awesome about this is I didn't even know it was an issue until we actually took this off and started messing with stuff. So my charge pipe has a silicone part right here, right? And this piece was pushing into that silicone piece and kind of making like a little something right there. So that wasn't good. Did not even know about that until I started tearing this apart and doing this. So really good thing I found that out, because with this, it actually kind of keeps this locked in place and actually creates a distance between the silicone and this factory kind of like snorkel, like cold air piece, whatever this part is called. I don't actually know what it's called, but I haven't test driven it yet. So pretty much this is the end result. This is kind of the finish. Made sure it doesn't hit the hood, nothing like that. Fits pretty good, nice and snug, doesn't really seem to rattle, so we'll drive around. I got some earlier footage of some IETs. It was a little bit hard because it was pretty darn sunny out today. It was honestly really hard to see the screen, but it's not quite as bright out now, so the fam had to take off early, so they're not here to say bye. But anyway, yeah, let's take it for a spin, see how it does, see if it actually makes a difference. This cost me roughly like $25, so if it makes a good enough difference, wasn't that hard to do, totally worth it. But let's see if it actually works first. Oh, I'm so shaky. Dude. Alright guys, so here we are. It's been about a week later, different day, obviously. I have not run into any issues overall. I would say I have noticed a decrease in IETs at the manifold. On average, I would say it's dropped at about roughly 10 to 15 degrees, which is pretty significant. I was not expecting that big of a change. If anything, I was going to say like 5 degrees, maybe a couple degrees. So it only cost me $25 to get the material to do this, and a few hours of putting it together, and that was extremely worth it. So, you know, if you've got some minor DIY knowledge of $25 and you've got a similar intake to mine, I have the NA Performance one, and has like, it's not enclosed in an air box, it's just open. So if you've got a similar setup to that, you know, I would say this is totally worth it. Like I was saying, it's been about a week. I've had everything in there. I've not run into any issues. Nothing's happening. Nothing got weird with the tune. Nothing at all. So I'll keep you guys posted if anything happens. But overall, I would say it was 100% worth doing. Not the prettiest thing in the universe, but for the benefits that you get with the lower IETs, again, totally worth it. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Feel free to comment if you got any ideas that you want to see me do, how I'm doing overall. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, you know, anything to really let me know what I can do better. And other than that, thank you again, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.